Hi everybody, Webmonkey here. Welcome once again to the garage. Today we're going to be working on marble, as you can see. I've got the steps listed up here so that you can see them throughout the whole thing and know what we're looking at. Each of these steps has kind of little sub things that go along with it, and I'll go over those in the middle of this tutorial. So long story short, step one is base coating. Now your base coat is going to be the color of whatever your veins are. For example, in this particular instance, the base coat was the black and the top coat is the white. I'm going to show you guys how to do all of this here shortly. This technique doesn't just work with blacks and whites. You can use it with greens and blacks, or you could even, like, if you wanted to, you could go through here and do various reds and oranges and yellows and make a really cool lava base if you want. I mean, there's a lot of applications to this. It also doesn't just work on flat surfaces like you see here. This technique will easily wrap around like cylinders, like if you wanted to do a marble pillar or column. It will go over corners in case like you wanted to put your character next to a wall or whatever, and I'll show you how to do both of these here in just a moment. Base coating in itself is easy enough. At this point, you guys, I shouldn't really have to explain that to you guys. So basically just decide whatever color you want all of your veining to be and apply it to your object in question. Part number two, stretching the cotton. This is going to be the part that's going to take the most time. You don't want to use just regular cotton, like this little cotton ball that most of you guys have seen. Part of the reason being is that the fibers are not long enough, and when you try to stretch it, it just kind of falls apart, and you can't get that good stringing action. You need something that's going to string out and still stay taut to itself. I've currently been using this stuff here. It's some cheap spiderweb stuff they sell at the Halloween stores. It cost me about $4 for the pack, and it'll last forever. But there's no reason why you have to feel trapped to that. The polyester cotton fiber stuff that they use inside couch cushions actually works really well. You could also use steel wool. If you're going to, try to use the fine steel wool, the 4-0. Also, don't use the steel wool from under your sink for like doing the dishes, because it has soap in it, and then when the soap mixes with the paint, it's all bad, so don't do that. So this is a section of that cotton that I was looking at, and when you pull it tight, you see how it strings out like that? That's your veining pattern, and that's what you're looking for. And because every piece of cotton and every section of cotton is unique, you'll never get the same pattern twice. And that randomness is exactly what you're looking for in order to sell the illusion. So in this case, I'm going to be working with black and white again, just to give you guys the excuse me, just to give you guys the illusion of or the basis of how this works. So I basically got some black primer and some white primer and some clear lacquer. You're probably going to want to go with a flat or a satin. You're probably not going to want to do the glossy, because you're probably not going to want to leave that gloss behind. But whatever stuff you get, just make sure that it's kind of non-yellowing, because in the future, as it yellows, especially on whites, it's going to show up. In our case, I guess before I do that, next we're going to end up moving to the top coat. The top coat is just simply spraying your other color over the top, and once it goes through the fibers, it'll leave the veining pattern behind. So going back to step two here for a second, what we're going to want to do is stretch this out to whatever pattern we like. Something like that will work just fine. If you can make a little jig and keep this stretched and taut if you want to. I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this tutorial because it won't matter. Then go ahead, get your lacquer out, and don't be afraid of it. I really should be wearing gloves for all of this, but I'm not. And just give it a really good soaking. You want to use it as kind of a glue to stick to your surface. Once you get it on there, pat it all down so that the different fibers will stick to the surface. And once you do that, get your top coat. Spray it on, and remember, step number 4 here, remove the cotton immediately. If you don't do this, it will end up, after a couple of minutes, it'll glue the cotton to your surface, and then that's not going to end well. So go ahead and peel it off. And you can work with different variations on this. By simply changing your pattern, you can make them thicker, you can make them thinner, you can do just about anything that you want with them. Again, getting back over into shapes, let's say you had a marble pillar or something that you wanted to do. Stretch all of this out. Spray it all down. Stick it to your surface. Give it a little quick spray of white. And you can do your marbling techniques on just about anything. Anyways, that's about it for the tutorial. That's how I went about it and did it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on the forums, and I'll answer any questions that you have. All right. Hope to see some marbling on your guys' next projects.